Hello my lovelies, it's my mini animal arc here, and today we are doing a Crested gecko haul. Most of this is from Spiral Reptiles, but I did pick up a few bits and pets at home, but it's mostly from Spiral Reptiles. I am having a rehomed gecko called Ember, who is 5 years old and is coming tomorrow. I had this delivered earlier this week, but I haven't got around to filming it yet, so I'm going to do that today before he comes tomorrow. And of course, as always, we have our resident bird squawking. So the first thing I got was a 10-litre bag of earth mix by Arcadia, just in case his current bioactive soil needs topping up or replacing for any reason, because he is in a bioactive enclosure already. So I just got this to have on hand in case he did need topping up or anything like that. So it's got like extra nutrients in it, like loads of different things to boost the enclosure compared to just regular cocoa fibre. It's quite popular to have people mix cocoa fibre, aka coir, with this stuff just to give it a little boost. Then we have a Arcadia Jungle Dawn light. Excuse me. This is the Luminaise one, one of them, the one that connects to the app on the phone. He does already have one of these, but it is the standard version. But because I've got him a T5 bulb, because he doesn't currently have one, I got him this one to go with it, because from what I know, you can't connect a regular Jungle Dawn to a Luminaise T5. Plus, it's better for me to have the readings on my phone just for peace of mind. So that's that. That is for his plants, to ensure that they are able to grow properly alongside the soil to add the nutrients. I do also have some small grey spotted woodlice and springtails to go into his enclosure, just because the current owner is not sure if his isopods are still alive, because he tends to eat them. And then, as mentioned, we have the Luminaise Pro T5 bulb. This is his UVB. The Jungle Dawn has UV but not UVB, so I'm assuming it's UVA. So for Crested gecko, you need both this and this for bioactive, but if you're not having bioactive, just a T5 arboreal shader will do nicely as their UVB source. Scampy, darling. And then we have an Arcadia 50-watt deep heat projector. This is for the area of his tank that's going to be his basking spot. He currently has a basking bulb, but I just wanted to replace it with this because I'm more familiar with this product. The items that he currently has, which I am currently not going to use, I'm donating it to a reptile rescue that I know, who keep different species of reptiles and can make use of those items whilst I'm not. And then we have some of these plastic feeding tongs. I probably won't end up using these because I did order some metal ones with rubber grips off Amazon, but they're okay to spare. But I was told that these are known for harbouring bacteria, versus the metal ones aren't as much, and also the metal ones can be sanitised easier than these, so I will probably use the metal ones. So I've got it all in a bag here because I unboxed it and put it away in the Exoterra cabinet that's in my bedroom, that I put together for him to go on tomorrow. It's just your standard 40 by 45 outwards by 60 wide for the tank to sit on top of, because he is in a 60 length, 45 outwards and 90 high, so it's over the minimum for a adult Crested gecko, which I believe is the absolute minimum is 45 times 60 times 45. But I'm seeing a lot of places now recommend a 90 height for adult crested geckos, which I think is, it's, you know, I couldn't personally imagine Ember being in less, because with them being arboreal, they need that height. So the next thing is the metal tongs. These were just off Amazon. There's 2 pairs, and the rubber part of them helps you grip onto the insects better, and they can also be better sanitized. Next thing we have is the ceramic lamp holder for the bulb. It is important that you use the correct excuse me, I've got tonsillitis coming. The correct heat bulb holder to your correct bulb, because if you use one of one brand and one from another, it can lead to your bulbs bursting and breaking. So this is made to go with that bulb. So even though he has a bulb and he has a heat bulb holder, I'm replacing it with these, and as I said, I'm going to be donating the other ones. Here we have one of the vitamin supplements. This is the Dietary Earth Flow supplement by Arcadia. You put this on the insects and it boosts their, obviously, supplements, nutrition, vitamins, minerals. And this is paired with the T5 bulb, which T5 bulb actually helps the gecko absorb nutrients, so they get some of it in their food anyway, but this on the insects as well helps them get those extra nutrients. So the T5 helps them absorb that, and this is one of the dietary supplements you need to give them. Speaking of supplements, we have a live food supplement shaker. So you would put the insects in here, put your vitamins on, your calcium powder and anything else, and you would shake it to dust the insects, and then you would either throw the insects out in this into the enclosure, which I will probably do because I'm not a big fan of insects, or you would pick them out with the tweezers, the feeding tongs even, and give them to your reptile. Next we have the feeder insect fuel. This is what you give to your feeder insects to gut load them before you feed them. So by gut loading, if nobody knows, is you basically feed the feeders a load of things. So you throw, some people use the reptiles standard food, so anything you give to the insects you give to your reptile. So this is given to them as, again, a food for the insects and also a supplement, so the reptile benefits from all that nutrition from the feeder insects into their diet. We have just a standard misting bottle. I was shown a different bottle that I might get down the line by somebody I follow, and they used to be mutual, so I may grab that down the line, and then I can always use this for my plants afterwards. Or I have isopods, I have my garden snail, I can find a use for it if I do end up switching to the other type of bottle, which I think is used for gardening. It's got like, you pump it and it mists. I can't remember the name of it. So then we have one of our Crested Gecko diets. This is the strawberry, and it's 50% strawberry powder and also 50% insects, because Ember isn't the biggest fan of insects, so I've got a few foods that are high in insects in case one time I try and feed him he's not being very keen, so then he can have the powder feed with the insects. And then this is the same, but it is in banana, it says strawberry, and those are both Habitat. This is the other supplement, which is the calcium magnesium. They need the magnesium to help them absorb the calcium, and that is also dusted onto the insects. This is the cable, because you can actually join the Jungle Dawn and the T5 bulb up together, so then they are connected and they run off one power source, if I'm correct, and then also they are both mounted on the app. We have some ReptiSafe, which you use to dechlorinate the water for the reptile in both the misting bottle and the water that they would drink. I've heard mixed things on this. Some owners don't use it, some owners don't, but I tend to take the approach of, as you do with fish, you take out the nasty chemicals in water, and I would rather provide it and them not need it than them need it and not have it, if that makes sense. And then we have a Komodo diet, which is papaya, banana and honey. Ember does have some food which he'll be coming with, so I will use up that food first and then I will go on to these. But we have our shed support. It's just another supplement that I will give to him on his insects when he is shedding, if he feels like eating insects when he's shedding. If not, I should just mix it into his powder food. And then the last one is the Arcadia Sticky Foot Gold for crested geckos. Again, it's just a powder food that you give them. You mix part powdered, part water and make it into a porridgey consistency, and they eat that. Some crested gecko owners will just feed them the powdered diets. It's somewhat controversial if they can survive and live off just powdered diets, but it's argued that if they will eat insects, they should, because it is very good enrichment for them. So that is everything apart from the cabinet, which is obviously in my bedroom. But thank you for watching, and I'm very excited to get a crested gecko after about 6 years of wanting to own one. Thanks for watching.